This is Unit 8, Solutions and Solubility, Lesson 2, Factors that Affect Solubility. How do various factors affect solubility? The objectives of this lesson, I can identify the factors that affect solubility, and I can identify the factors that affect the rate of dissolving. So quick do now. All right, some factors that affect solubility. One, the nature of the solute in the solvent. So we've heard this before, like dissolves like. Polar substances will dissolve in polar substances, and nonpolar substances will dissolve in nonpolar substances. So if I have two nonpolar things, then they will mix together. Or if I have two polar things, then they will mix together. They'll dissolve. If they are not alike, then they will not dissolve. Unlike substances do not dissolve, such as oil and water. Oil is nonpolar, and water is polar, and they will not mix. The second factor that affects solubility is temperature, and this is only for solids. So as temperature increases, the solubility increases. For example, sugar and water. If I heat up the water, I can dissolve more sugar. The reason why is that heat energy is required to overcome the forces that hold the molecules in the solid together. So as we add more heat, we can overcome those forces holding the solid together and more will dissolve. So for example, dissolving of sugar and water. If I put the sugar in the water, it will dissolve and break apart into its molecules. If I heat up the water, then I can dissolve more sugar and make a sugar solution. Temperature affects gases differently. As temperature increases, the solubility of a gas will decrease. So take note of this. This is really important, and you're going to forget it. The solubility for gases is different. So for example, warm soda goes flat really easily. So that's why we serve it nice and cool for that nice, fresh, cold soda, because the bubbles that you put in, that carbon dioxide, stay better when it's colder. Why? Because the reason why is the higher temperature will increase the kinetic energy or the movement, and this can break the IMFs and allow the molecules to escape from the solution as a gas. So as I increase the temperature, those gas particles in the solution, in the liquid, will move faster and they'll come out faster. The third factor is pressure. This affects solids and liquids. So as pressure changes, solubility does not change when I am talking about solids or liquids. So when I press down on this, my solubility of my liquid isn't going to change. So pressure has no effect on the solubility of solids and liquids. However, pressure does affect gases. And as I increase my pressure, my solubility increases. The reason why is that increase in pressure can force the gas particles into solution. So here, if I have just gas above my liquid, as I press down, more of that gas can be shoved into that solution. So there are also factors that affect the rate or the speed of dissolving, how quickly we can dissolve something. One is surface area. So as the surface area increases, the rate of dissolving increases. For example, sugar cubes with just one side here dissolve much slower than my granules. So that's why powdered sugar dissolves so quickly, because it has an increased surface area. More places for that water to interact. The second factor that affects rate is stirring. Stirring will increase the rate of dissolving, so this makes the solute come in contact with the solvent much more quickly. So check your understanding. And now you can identify the factors that affect solubility, and you can identify the factors that affect the rate of dissolving.